Hey there guys, welcome back and welcome to another episode of Horizon Forbidden West.
Still.
Yeah. Keep your guard up.
I do feel like there will be a fight or something like that.
Whoa! It's one of those machines!
It can turn invisible?
We're gonna have to take it out to get into the test station. You with me?
Okay,
Are you injured? How do I shut this window? That was amazing. Terrifying, but
It's carrying one of the metal. Well, you helped. We should be able to get into Test Station Ivy now.
we shouldn't linger here. There might be more machines.
There has to be some data here on the adamantine wreath we can use.
I trust your focus will see what mine cannot. Oh, that's interesting.
Find something?
The 4th test station. Willow. It looks like it's underwater.
Huh. That might be worth a look sometime.
must have faith. I walk with the ancestors.
This console's still operational.
We shall find what we seek.
Another log.
We're done in every way. The reeds work, and Cobble came through on a way to destroy them.
I can't leave here until I find what I need.
The deployment shell triggers an enzyme that causes the reeds to eat themselves from within. But it's too late. The latest projections from U.S. Robot Command have swarm reproduction outpacing our ability to drop the shells by 375%. Not even close. I guess we deserve this. I deserve it for what I made here. This will be my last log before evacuation.
So all their efforts were in vain. They ran out of time.
At least we have the software module they created. It should get rid of the vines produced by the metal flowers. I need a workbench to load the module into my spear.
There's one back at our camp. The map showed a path leading back there past the next room.
And this mission has turned out to be a bit lengthier than expected.
That must be the 4th testing station we saw on the map.
Looks like it's been flooded for a while. In here. We'll have to climb up.
Right behind you!
We can use the line to get down.
Right! Easy! Made it! But we better make haste. After we encountered barbarians, our lieutenant called for reinforcements. They could be here any time.
Right.
There. The workbench you need.
Okay, what do I need to make?
Now what?
Now, we get to that data core. Let's hope this new module works. Power's blooming. Let's see if the software works.
Vines. They're falling apart.
Door's clear now. Demeter, it's time to go home. To Gaia.
I see the light.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Demeter's subordinate function to original code.
What did you do? I've never seen my focus glitch like that.
I found a special type of data. It's something you can't read. But they kept a tight grip on the data core. But now you should have access to the central server. All of it. Should give you something to bring home.
You were right. Hundreds of archives. Almost all of it relating to agriculture. It would take us years to get through all of this. But we don't have that kind of time. What you said before about... Alba! Hold your fire! By the word of the ancestors, you must stop. Come. Look at who you fired on.
That barbarian killed our soldiers!
Only those who fired blindly. She is no barbarian. She gave me the data we need. Come, look at her. Can't you see? Elizabeth Sobek stands before you. An ancestor reborn.
Diviner! We should bring the ancestor back.
It is we who follow their word, Commander, not the other way around. My apologies, Dr. Sobek. Our people's faith is strong, but there are those who are not as familiar with the legacy as they should be.
You heard the diviner. The data has been found. You two, with me. The rest of you, meet us back at the beach for return to landfall.
I can't talk long. They will have many questions.
So do I. Your people know a lot about the past. And about Sobek, I guess, but they're...
Please, I must know. What you said before about working towards the same goal, how long will it take?
I don't know. A few months?
Then you are my family's best hope. Let nothing get in your way. You have opened my eyes to many things, and for that, I thank you. But now you must go.
Will I see you again?
Soon we return to Legacy's landfall. It might be dangerous for you to go there.
Well, tell me how to reach it, just in case.
We made landfall on the northeast edge of the sunken city. The currents around the archipelago are vicious, and the only approach is from the south. And it is guarded. Only attempt to go there if you must.
Diviner! What's the delay?
Please, go. If you attempt to stay here any longer, they may want to take you with us, and that won't go well for anyone.
Okay.
I better do as Alpha says. I need to get Demeter back to Gaia anyway. But I might want to head to that tall neck I saw in the forest before I make the trek back. Now I can use the vine cutter on those other metal flowers I found earlier.
It is good to see you again, Aloy. I see you have recovered Demeter. With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus, and fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it.
Okay, now we have a group of people.
With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you've been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores. Where would we find a place like that?
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I've been there. The Tenakth marked the entrance as some kind of ritual ground. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Pharaoh's mega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go. Hey, Gaia.
Hello,
Yes, we do have something to
I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood. Beta's convinced. With that attitude, did you really think she'll be able to build?
It may take some
I don't get her. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here. All this data I've picked up and I guess I never really thought that other...
Based on my observations, Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday party. He appears perplexed by the tradition of as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of He also suggested we host a party for you.
Yeah, no.
That is what I predict.
Is Katalo getting along?
Yes, though he appears to be collating data on War Machine and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague. To aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Inju, I believe he aims to study the tactics of Old World War.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his...
So now that you have...
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified. And soil conditions... These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, then you'll be able to fix...
Correct. Reverse the environmental...
So our plan to capture Hephaestus.
As you wish. We now know that... Which is why you will...
Right. From his personal bunker, Thebes.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in... When we get... The second core is for Hephaestus.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code.
How long will that take?
There are calculations I still must...
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the...
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron. The energy surge should mask our activities and...
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Faro create a clearance level higher? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with to the Zero Dawn system. With my predecessor did not even know until he activated it to purge the... It is, in effect, a blind spot. And fortunately, thanks to Beta, we know where Omega Clear...
Right. So Gemini has 2 data, but you mentioned something about seismic activity.
When my predecessor attempted construction was disrupted by a series, the data core had already been built. But the rest of... So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she...
Lucky for us. Are the...
No. Though they did also create
So the facility... It's where they created the biomass converter. Did Elizabeth know they...
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to though her focus was devoted...
That makes sense. If they've been able to...
Using the data, I ran several in all deactivate.
So Zero Dawn.
Let's just
There was a lot of... Do you think it'll...
I will run complete, which may be beneficial.
But new crop...
It is.
I found some data in one of the rooms. It mentioned that there are still functional seed banks. Why is it there?
My predecessor was tasked with primary, had everything gone up been able to introduce tertiary.
Can we access them?
Unfortunately, it will have to wait in order to access and distribute.
And for that we need a fest. Have you been able to make use?
Yes. You should notice less ramp.
Maybe that'll give Plainsong's fields a chance.
Unfortunately, recovery in that area is unlikely. I have discussed this matter with Zoe. I believe...
Yeah, There's something I'm still... Why was Demeter using flying machines to distribute...
In its deranged state, Demeter was defending itself against a robotics...
It thought the Pharaoh Plague was still happening?
It feared it would come again. As it sought to protect plant life at all, and considering it had 20 years to proliferate, I expect you will continue to find the fruit.
That's a good thing I... The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis, Eleuthia was responsible for culturing. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating. But, unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the second...
Pharaoh, huh?
Understandable. He appears to have been pathologically narcissistic.
All four were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
Restoring their remaining elements would increase empowering my over. Unfortunately, as we now know they are in the position, attaining them in the short term is very likely.
I guess our best shot at recovering them is by taking over this. But we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch of
Correct.
Were you able to make?
Yes, and lakes associated with. As a result, according it appears.
Yeah,
Maybe-
a lot of talking.
So Poseidon spent the last 20 years from the date. Is that why Poseidon went
Most likely, Poseidon's there, buried.
like 3 awesome?
I suspect that was not the.
Why did Ether take up residence in an?
As with the other subordinate functions, one in the museum, given that the holographic displays were
So Ether was
correct, though it is
maybe it. You said Hephaestus.
correct, which are confined to discrete physical Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons. And as Beta discovered, it will no longer respond to Alpha.
Right. So
Yes. After which, I will be able to observe.
So you'll regain the capacity to mass.
Yes.
So you could build an army of machines.
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve human life above. So yes, once I have been empowered with, I could design, build, and command such an army, given the nature of the far zenith threat. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good.
Indeed.
Beta believe start over. So they can.
Further supporting.
Why? Given their technology, they could wipe out the tribes of the world by. And if they're the same people who left Earth 1,000 years ago, wouldn't they want the biosphere to be as it was?
It is likely they adjusted to different planetary conditions and they may be trying to recreate that environment.
Turning Earth into a new Sirius. So the Zeniths are this physically immortal.
From what we know of Far Zenith, and engineers were offered a place aboard the Odyssey in exchange for their expertise. Given enough time, technology.
Like how Minerva eventually generated the deactivation code.
Exactly.
The Zeniths. Gerard, Eric, Tilda. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on. I think Elizabeth knew one of them. Tilda.
No. Elizabeth often spoke of her work, or told stories. If she knew this Tilda, she did not. What we can conclude from your and Beta's is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit to protect life on Earth.
The extinction signal didn't. It made every subordinate function self.
I have wondered this myself. So far as I'm in the partial.
A signal. How could the Zenith?
From the records on your phone, it appeared.
Hank, but.
Yes, despite it.
So from.
Yes, they for energy.
But that.
Throughout every. While were I to know she. Oh,
I guess I should.
as you say.
That is focus thing's trying to kill me.
Did almost drown it in beer.
Not on purpose.
So they carved pumpkins.
Got a minute?
As many as you
I have to travel beyond.
to the ruins.
Yes. And I'm looking for a They said they came from across the. I was hoping that Tanakh.
Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but we've had more pressing concerns, as you know.
It's okay.
There is something I've been It's...
You said there was something you want.
I've been speaking with... She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make them... I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a... if I can get the necessary data and material. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the...
Their ancient research lab.
I am not as familiar with old-world machinery as you are.
It might be dangerous. The Zeniths probably... We were lucky to get out of there alive the first time.
I see.
It sounds like this is worth the risk.
By the 10, we shall see it through.
Anything interesting? Oh.
Outside.
Ever thought... Found any...
I knew the 10, but it seems they... Later, as they... At least the...
There...
Yes.
Anything else you...
Gaia showed me the...
What is it?
The old ones believed one could hear the great waters. If you carried the... They called...
That's... What have you been up to?
Varl, so I've been teaching him it is heavy with blood, but also, maybe you'd like to hear...
I'd be honored. What do...
We play although he has yet... It helps one thinks
Somehow... I should get going.
Should you need...
I know who to call. I'll call you when I'm near the Zenith lab. We'll get what you need for that new arm of yours.
Thank you, Aloy.
Aloy.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. They call it the Isle. It is said the old ones built towers so they could live far away from the Earth, as if they didn't want to be...
Sounds like something Any progress with...
It is. But there is difficult work ahead. Gaia warned me that because the land gods are linked together, the code must be delivered to... Most are in plain song, but in recent years, 3 of them wandered off.
We have to find...
No. We know where they are. But so, wandered into a lake and sank. Doe ventured into a dangerous canyon, and T broke down amidst a herd of...
Okay. Tell you what. You go to Plainsong, handle all the land god. I'll take care of T. I'll need their location.
I'm sending the data to you now. My people made shrines near where each land god faltered. When you see them, you'll know. And once again...
We're not gonna let your... How much have you read on...
Enough could let... For once, I'm not...
It looked like you...
With, even if...
Already...
Your friend, land god...
It wasn't.
The land god, they are not some... Even to a...
I'm...
He does now. I had to get pretty...
You know I can hear you.
You ever play that...
I was no such...
You and
We're doing all the... But then, leave aloud, what could go wrong?
What's everyone...
I thought it might help. Maybe even get her to sleep up. She would not... Patience reaped.
I should get after that.
We'll be ready.
From there, let's end this over here. Lots of talking, a boring episode, but it is what it is.